Wonderhussy here. Whew, it's kind of a drizzly, dreary, rainy winter's day here in the desert. We don't get too many of these. You can see there's fog and mist rolling over the mountains behind me. It's actually really cool, but exploring in the rain really isn't a lot of fun. You get soggy, you get wet, you get muddy, unless you're exploring underground. This mine that we're going to explore today is called the War Eagle Mine, and it's pretty popular with underground mine explorers because it's actually open to the public. I think it's privately owned, but the guy who owns it doesn't mind if people go in and explore it. So I actually came here back in November for there was a big mine explorers meetup camp out right here outside the mine where my rig is parked. This flat area here was full of campers. There's probably like 300 people here, kids, families, everybody who's into exploring mines. And so I came here back in November for that meetup, and I went down into this mine and got a tour of it from one of my friends, and it was such a cool place. I really wanted to make a video, but on that day it was really crowded because of the meetup, so it wouldn't have been a very good video. So I decided to come back with Larry, and we're gonna go do an explore of this mine together, because there's one thing in particular that I'm looking for that I didn't see on my prior explore. Okay, before I go in though, I just want to note that I am wearing a hard hat for safety. I've got a headlamp also for safety. I even have a respirator for extra safety. And, I don't know if you can see, I'm wearing a backpack full of flashlights, extra batteries, batteries for my camera, water, all the things I might need while I'm down there, because I'm expecting this explore to take at least a few hours, and it's probably going to be dark by the time we get back up here. Okay, Larry already went in ahead of me. Follow him in. Like I said, this is called the War Eagle Mine, and I guess they mined it from like 1906, I think they started, up until the 1950s. And they mined a bunch of different stuff out of this. Lead, copper, zinc, and gold. And I think there's a couple other mines in the area that this actually connects to. And it goes on, if you go through the whole network, it can go for miles and miles and miles. Okay, so lighting might be a little bit problematic in this video because, I mean, you can see behind me, there's barely any, I mean, we're gonna be disappeared from all daylight soon, so we're relying just on our flashlights and our headlamps. Okay, so going back to something I alluded to before I came in, there's one thing in particular that I'm looking for in this mine. And it's not gold, and it's not copper, it's not even lead or zinc. Something even creepier or cooler in my book, but I'm weird. When I was down here before, I was told that somewhere in this mine, some pranksters put a badger, a taxidermied badger, hidden up on a timber somewhere, so that when you're, walking along, explorers are walking along with their flashlight and like looking for stuff, and they'll accidentally light on the badger's eyes and go, ah, what's that? You know me, I like weird stuff, and a taxidermied badger hidden deep in the bowels of the earth is right up my alley. Okay, we finally turned a corner and we can't see daylight anymore. Watch what happens when I turn off my headlamp. Pitch darkness. You can't tell up from down, left from right. Kind of disorienting, but it's kind of cool. And what's really cool about this mine is because it's so often explored, there's all these markings on the walls showing you the way out. So it's really hard to get lost in here. It's actually a pretty safe place to explore. So that arrow indicates that this is the way back out, which, like I said, can't see the daylight anymore. So if it wasn't for these arrows that are painted on both sides, you might really get turned around. It'd be easy to do and not be able to figure out how to get out of here. And moreover, like I just showed you, it's so friggin' dark in here. Can you imagine what would happen if all your batteries died on all of your lights? You'd have to feel your way out, touching the walls. Oh man, talk about creepy.
Did you see the yogurt?
Yogurt?
There's a yogurt cup.
No, but I guess we better go look at it.
Along the ledge on the right side.
Oh, here's what he's talking about. It's an old yogurt carton when they used to make it in like a wax paper carton. Wow, that is old. Knudsen yogurt. Nature's aid to better health. I don't know if that was from some old miner's lunch or just some explorer's lunch. Either way, it's pretty cool. Golly, it's gonna take us forever to explore this mine if we take all these little side tunnels. This one has this weird yellow ribbon hanging down it. Like, I think that's some kind of indication maybe that it's a dead end, but meh. We might as well go in and see. It probably doesn't go very far. And then we'll keep continuing on down the main tunnel where it goes down to all the other levels. Larry was just saying that anytime we come across these timbers, it means that there's loose material overhead. Yikes. Oh yeah, good thing they timbered it. Uh-oh, we're still following that drift off of the main adit that we came down, and now we came to another fork. Like, man, remember those choose your own adventure books when you were a kid? Like, I feel like I'm in a choose your own adventure. If you think I should go left, turn to page 76. Think I should go right? Turn to page 54. Yeah, there's a lot of footprints on the ground. You can see one of the reasons why I'm not really scared to explore this at all is it's so well traveled and so many people come in here. It's almost like the Disneyland of all minds. Oh wait, I shouldn't say that if I want to get more YouTube views and subscribers. You guys, this mine is terrifying. I don't know if I'm gonna get out of here alive. What was that? I think it was a ghost. Or wait, Sasquatch. Or wait, no, lizard people. I mean, that's my understanding of how to get a lot of YouTube views, is to be overly melodramatic about stuff. Okay, we reached the end of this drift finally. And look what Larry pointed out. The drill bit actually broke off in the end of this drift. So I guess they couldn't drill any farther. The rock just got too hard. Nuts. Look, we came upon the old rails from where like the mine carts used to ride on. A really cool little haulage rail line. Look at this. Man, I feel like I'm in Disneyland. So cool. Okay, I had to break out my big gun. This is an Olight X7 Marauder. And this thing, I mean, first of all, it weighs about 5 pounds. But it's a beast, man. It'll light up your world like the 4th of July. It's a great flashlight to have. Can't recommend it enough. I'll put a link to it in the description if you're interested. But anyway, what I wanted to show you here was, well, first of all, there's like this side section here that I guess it's called a stope, where they went into the side and like dug out a bunch of stuff. But look at these timbers that are supporting it. I mean, yikes. This just looks so hokey. To have all these little bits of wood jammed in here. It's like Jenga or something. And that's what's holding this stuff up. Yikes. I don't know how well I trust this. But can you imagine, like, some poor miners were like crawled all the way down there on their friggin' hands and knees, bellies, to get down there and dig out all the sweet, sweet ore. I mean, talk about claustrophobia. That's gotta only be like 3, maybe 4 feet tall. Terrifying. Oh look, now we come to another junction. So somebody has written, War Eagle lower and upper levels are to the left passage, not this one. Oh nice, and then somebody goes, JK, it's Walmart ahead. But all joking aside, I think it is cool that somebody came in here and took the time to, you know, write down what's ahead everywhere. Because, you know, if it was me and I came to this junction, should I go to the left or should I go to the right? I don't know, the right looks kind of creepier and cooler, so I would probably have gone to the right. But thanks to that helpful graffiti, I'm gonna go to the left instead. And then look, here's more graffiti saying out that way, which is so freaking cool that somebody did that. So you don't have to be worried about getting lost as long as you have a flashlight battery. Look at the rails here. Man, this looks like you're on I mean, I feel like I'm at Disneyland, but like an abandoned Soviet Disneyland or something. Like this was some roller coaster, like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Disneyland, but like the Russian version. Closed down because of lack of interest or nuclear meltdown or something. Oh gosh, now we came to another junction, and this one's a 4-way. How are we ever supposed to know which way to go in this thing? War Eagle lower levels are this way. So that's where we're going to be going. But if we wanted to, there's also this way, which has a bunch of old funky ruins of old electrical boxes. Wow, look at that. I don't even know what this was. I guess this whole thing was wired for electricity back in the day, so they had lighting and stuff. Oh, look, an old work glove. Oh, and an old sticker in here. What does this say? Flexa Power Wireway. The Trumbull Electric Manufacturing Company. North Hollywood, California. Wow. Look here. An old Spam tin. Some miner's lunch. I don't know if that's really that old, though. I don't eat Spam, so I'm not sure if their logo's changed since then. Okay, well, Larry says that back this way it's marked War Eagle upper levels, so we do want to check that out. And of course, we do want to go down to the lower levels, but there's also this turnoff to the left that looks pretty interesting, so we're going to just poke our nose down there real quick and see what's back here. Hopefully, I hate to say hopefully it's a dead end, but geez, I don't know how many more options I can take. This is like how they say one of our problems with today's society is that we have too many options. Like, you go to buy toothpaste and there's like 30 different kinds of toothpaste. Well, this mine is like a metaphor for all of society's current ills. It's a dead end? Dead end. Thank goodness. Okay, so thankfully that was a dead end. We're going to go back out to those upper levels. But before I go, I just wanted to shoot this. This is where all the rails come together. It's kind of an interesting rail junction for you railroad buffs out there. It's kind of a cool pattern. Reminds me of the New Mexico state flag, kind of. Okay, so we'll continue on past the electrical boxes, and Larry was saying that there's really cool timbering back here. Wow, look at that. It's like Lincoln logs. But look at this. I mean, first of all, the clearance overhead is getting real low. I mean, I'm only 5'3", and I can barely walk under these things. Good thing I'm wearing a hard hat. That's what these things are nice for. If I bonk my head like that, doesn't hurt. Wow, it's a trip. There's actually some these look like steel I-beam reinforcement holding this up. So even though I'm standing here under this like partially collapsed, I mean, look at this. Thing is like falling apart, but I'm not really worried about it because of these steel beams that are reinforcing it. Maybe I should be worried and not stand here. Let's keep going. But look, it gets so tight back here. I'm gonna have to squeeze through. Oh, wow. Holy crap. I mean, this is only like maybe 3 feet, this opening. I'm small. I only weigh 115, but even I'm having a hard time. Yikes. Okay, I squeezed through that skinny little passageway, and thankfully it opened up into a pretty decent sized tunnel. And there's this dusty old metal panel that everybody kind of apparently uses to write their initials. And it's interesting because there's no weather down here, no wind, no rain, so you know, you write your initials in the dust back in 2013 and it's still here 5 years later. Kind of like those footprints on the moon. Uh-oh, look what Larry just found. An old chest.
Look, the hinges are made out of leather.
What?
That's the hinge.
Wow, leather hinges. That's got to be old.
Piece of a shoe.
Oh, wow, look at that. That's it, though. Then like what is that, a lid of an old Copenhagen tin?
Like it, yeah.
Wow. Okay, now we came to another junction. I don't know if there's some special word for a junction in a mine, but I'm just going to keep calling it a junction. So now this, I don't know, it kind of almost goes back the direction we came. And then, oh, look to the right, though. This is a creepy old wooden door. Wow, I like this direction. I'm turning to page 43. If you've never read those books, sorry that I keep making those jokes. Choose Your Own Adventure. It was a series of kids' books from like the 80s, maybe? 90s? Wow, look, it goes over. Oh my gosh, yikers. Now I feel like I'm playing this game Donkey Kong that my little brother used to make me play with in this video game. There's this one level in a mine. Oh, wow, look at that minecart down there. Yeah. Oh, let's get out of this little drift. Catch my drift? It's kind of creepy. Oh, look, part of an old explosives box or something. Trojan Powder Company. Okay, so we know that ended in disaster. That's the way we came. And it has an orange arrow meaning out because eventually it will lead you out. But to be honest, I'm already kind of confused. I guess this is going to take us back to that one four-way junction. And then that one was pretty well marked with War Eagle. So we're still in the War Eagle upper level. Okay, so this is the other drift or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to go down here and check this out. Okay, man, there are so many cool things down every single one of these friggin' side passageways that we go down. Like, this is some kind of creepy, like doorway. Okay, Larry and I were debating taking yet another detour, and it's a doozy. There's this ladder at the end of one of these little side shafts or drifts, and then there's a rope that you use to pull yourself up to a second ladder, and then even beyond that, you probably can't see, there's a third ladder. I mean, this just goes way, way up. And at first we were just gonna skip it, leave it for another day, because we want to go down to the bottom, but it just seems too cool to pass up. So we're gonna take off our backpacks and everything and leave them down here, because it's not like there's we have to worry about anybody stealing anything. We don't really have to worry about animals down here. That's a nice thing. There's nothing for them to eat, so they're not hanging out down here. How's the ladder look, Larry?
Pretty sketchy.
Sketchy? Oh, it's wobbly?
Oh, no, it's fine.
Oh, okay. So
It's sketchy fine.
sketchy fine? That's
Sketchy
my
fine.
favorite kind of fine. All right, let's do it. Sketchy, you say? Oh yeah, look at that. Yikes. All right, I climbed all the way up this sketchy ladder, but there's really not much up here. I mean, we could continue crawling along, but I don't know. I feel like we should go down.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, back down the ladder we go. Yikes, that was kind of sketchy coming down that ladder. Okay, I went ahead because I wanted to shoot that collapsed rail with the mine cart at the bottom for my brother. Because my brother used to make me play that Donkey Kong video game with him all the time when he was little. I thought it'd be cute to send to him. But while I'm here, I thought it would also be cool to turn off my headlamp and experience pitch blackness underground. Really creepy, and oh, here comes Larry. Thank goodness, no more pitch blackness. I really wouldn't want to have to find my way out of this thing in pitch darkness. Talk about terrifying. Okay, so we made it back to the junction where we could proceed on to the lower levels of the War Eagle. And check this out. It's an incline shaft. Look at that. This goes down way, 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 way down into the belly of the earth. Can you imagine? And there's a little, kind of like a ladder walkway on that side to get down. Holy cow, but before we go down there and check that out, I think this main area here is where they actually had a rave one year. The people in that Underground Explorers mine enthusiast group actually had a rave in a cave a couple years ago. I saw a video of it. It looked pretty cool. There was like 50 people in this room here dancing. There was a guy in a Tyrannosaurus Rex costume. They had music, lights. It actually looked pretty friggin' cool. Okay, I'm climbing down this slanted walkway, which I would estimate is at a, like, not quite a 45-degree angle, maybe like 30-degree angle. I don't know. I'm really bad with geometry. But going down, it's not so bad, but going up, it's going to be a workout. But it's actually not that tough of going because look, I mean, there's little crossbars to put your feet on, and there's a pipe going along for a handrail, so it's really not that bad. So if a cart was coming down the rail and they wanted it to get off at this level, they lower this thing, like this one here is lowered, and then it can just cruise on off to this level instead of continuing down. But like on the other side, if they want to keep going down to another level, they swing that arm up and it'll just keep going down. That's pretty cool, Larry.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
It's very primitive technology, or very simple, but
It's still here after.
yeah, it's beauty of simplicity. I love it. Oh wow, look at this sketchy footing here. Yikers. Don't want to fall down this hole.
Well, that's just going down to the next level.
Okay, well I still don't want to fall down there.
No, do not fall.
Okay, poking around level 3 here, we found some pretty cool stuff. A drill bit, Larry pointed out. Part of an old box of dynamite shells. It's kind of cool. But what's really cool is that people just leave this stuff down here so that everyone can enjoy it. I appreciate that. These mine explorer people are really cool. But I mean, I guess the people who littered all these beer cans and beer bottles down here probably weren't mine enthusiasts. They're probably just like local kids came out here to party or something. Because I don't know, from everything I've seen from the mine people, they seem like pretty respectful of this stuff. But there are a lot of beer cans and beer bottles down here. And food wrappers, cigarette butts. I mean, yeah, it's like a bunch of ore laid out on this little table. I don't know if you can see because my flashlight is so bright, but it's kind of sparkly. I mean, what do you suppose that is? Or look back in here. It looks like they're all shiny silver looking stuff. Oh, did you get a piece?
What weight of that?
Oh, it is. It's very heavy for such a small piece. Wow, what on earth could this be? I'm not a rock hound, but I kind of wish I was right now.
It's really pretty stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so we basically came into this huge cavernous stope. You can see maybe sparkly type minerals on the wall that for whatever reason they didn't get to. It's just a really big cavernous stope. And it goes on. Oh yeah, look, there's ruins of a campfire. What? That'd be kind of creepy to camp down here. I mean, I've camped in some weird places, but this would be kind of too spooky for even me. But I was just saying that this would actually be a really good place for someone to hide out from the police. Like if you were on the lam. I remember reading, oh gosh, like over 10 years ago, there was some dude that was running from the cops in Vegas, and he eluded them by going down into the storm drains under the city. There's miles of storm drain tunnels that, you know, homeless people live in. You probably heard about it. It's kind of a big story now. Well, the way that story became public is when that fugitive eluded the cops by climbing down into a storm drain, and then he walked like a couple miles and came out on the other side of town. That's what sparked the interest of the journalist who ended up going down there and investigating the storm tunnels and interviewing all those homeless people. And so I can kind of see a similar thing happening in this cave. I mean, maybe not so much for homeless people because we're pretty far from the city, so it would be hard to get food or whatever. But if you were trying to hide out from the police, this would be a good spot. Okay, another interesting thing we keep seeing are these X's in circles. And we think it indicates that it leads to a dead end. And it's kind of a spooky, witchy, Blair Witch kind of thing. Okay, so we fully explored level 3, and now we're heading down the ladder to explore level 4. Wow, look at that. That's a mine disaster right there. Hopefully no miners were injured in the wrecking of that cart. So it's like those two things on the top there were what hung onto the rails?
Yeah.
Okay, wow, here's the other side of that mine cart. Oh man, that thing is massive. Can you imagine how much that weighs? Oh, and look, it says something on the... I don't know if I'll be able to get over there. I gotta be real careful. CS Card Ironworks Company, Denver, Colorado. Okay, wow, it says level 4 is down, so I guess we're only on level 3 now. I thought we just explored level 3. Apparently that was level 2 or 1.0 or 1.5 or who knows. I'm all topsy-turvy. The one thing that's good though about this mine is I feel like there's not much chance of getting lost because all we have to do is go back up that incline and we'll find ourselves back in the main area where it's pretty well marked. So I'm not worried and I feel confident continuing on exploring this level, which there's a few interesting things here. Some safety switches, electrical stuff. Look over here though. Well, first there's an old Budweiser can. Somebody was drinking beer down here. It's kind of an older one though, that's kind of cool. Old work gloves, and my favorite, an old newspaper. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time reading it though, but it is interesting. Look, July 16th, 2000. The Press Enterprise. Oh wow, I don't know. What's the Press Enterprise? Oh look, it's a campaign at Al Gore. It's a gift from Ralph Nader. Oh, this is July of 2000, before the election, the hotly contested election. No kidding. Look at this guy. Young non-voters. Millions lost in inaction. Boy, tell that to Bernie Sanders. Look at this. Oh, Lebanese Palestinians. This is what was going on in the world. Oh man, I know I just said I wasn't going to look through this paper, but it's so hard for me to not. Look at this. Gore attacks Bush over his record as governor. Gore v. Bush, that's what was going on back in July of 2000. I love how these mine people, they just find interesting things and then they set them up for you to look at as you're walking along. It's almost like a living history museum. By the way, look how bright that O-light is. I mean, it's lighting up this entire room. I can turn my headlamp off and show you. Like, that is one serious flashlight, you guys. Look, here's another mine cart. I'm just sitting here. This one we could actually see inside. Oh, more of that same newspaper, I bet. Funny.
Wax-coated box.
Oh, weird.
Explosive Trojan chemicals. You see
Oh,
that?
right. We saw a box up towards the top that said Trojan explosives. It's not condoms, Larry. Look, there's part of the old wooden box too. You can see the logo on it.
Yeah.
Cool. Explosives, dangerous. All right, down to level 4. 2 more levels to go. Still haven't seen hide nor hair of that taxidermied badger, but I'm not giving up hope. I thought I remembered someone saying it was on 5, so we'll see. Okay, we found the old switch to the railroad tracks, and guess what? It still works. Look at that. Switch one way, switch the other, and then the tracks shift depending on which way you want to go. Okay, I gotta start focusing on these timbers more and looking for this badger. Supposedly it's stuck on the top of a timber somewhere, so I don't know. What did you just find?
I'm walking away from that. That says explosives on it.
Looks like dynamite to me. Yikes. Whew! Alright, we finally made it to the very bottom of the War Eagle mine. I guess it's the 5th level, and there's really not much down here. Just kind of dead ends. There's a dead end there. There's a dead end there. There's a few items down here left behind. An old walkie-talkie, some litter, water bottles, Slim Jim, Gatorade, and then this old newspaper, which apparently everybody signs when they come down here. And this paper is from Monday, October 13th, 2008. Kind of cool. Look at the headline there. Governor Schwarzenegger. And then, of course, some class act changed the E to an I. Stay classy, mine people. Okay, well, while I'm down here at the very bottom, I want to look at my altimeter app. I don't even have any idea if that'll work underground, but I'm curious to see what altitude we're at. And then when we get to the top, I can take the altitude reading there and see how far down we descended. Whew, all right, finally we can make our way back up to the top. It's already like after 5, and we gotta go uphill for many, many feet. I don't know, I can't remember what the altitude was at the top. I should have checked, but it's gonna be a workout, so I've stripped down accordingly. Look how sweaty I am already. Ugh. Sorry about that, but man, this could be a workout. I should make a workout VHS tape. Work out the mine way with Wonderhussy. You'll sweat off the way and you'll work out your glutes by hiking up this, what'd you call this?
Incline shaft.
Incline shaft. Okay, overall it was a great explore, but we never did find that badger. So I'm not sure if that's just an urban legend or if somebody took it out or if somehow I missed it. Whew. Finally made it up that incline, and that was a real workout. And now we're making our way back to the opening of the mine and to fresh air. It's kind of funny because I can't see daylight to indicate when we're near the end of this tunnel, or at it, because it's dark outside. You know, if we came out earlier in the day, we'd be able to see the daylight coming through, but as it is, only thing I can see up ahead is Larry. Woohoo! The opening and fresh air. Oh, God. Man, it was a lot of fun exploring that abandoned mine. I mean, it's like 6 o'clock now. We went down at 2, so that means we spent 4 hours walking around down there. I don't have a Fitbit, or I didn't have my fitness tracker on, so I don't know how many miles we covered, but I'm about to figure out how many feet we went down. Oh man, only 300 feet? I thought it was going to be like 3,000. That's the way it felt when I was climbing up that incline anyway. But 300 feet down into the belly of the earth is pretty impressive. And boy, I can't recommend coming in and exploring this old mine enough. I mean, if nothing else, it's an amazing way to spend a rainy day. Won't need this anymore.